The House of Orange is back at you. It is DGG signing day eve. About 24 hours from now, we will know the decision for Gabriel Georges. It's the biggest recruitment for Tennessee of this cycle. It's obviously been Tennessee's number one priority, Tennessee's number one target. Josh Heupel and company have fared really well with their top targets, over the last few years. Will tomorrow continue that trend, or will things go differently? Hit that like, hit that share, hit that subscribe button. Really appreciate all your support along the way. Again, the big fish for Tennessee, it is Gabriel Georges. Plays at Baylor and Chattanooga, of course. Consensus 5-star. You all know all this stuff at this point. I could rattle it all off for you. I know everybody's caught up in this recruitment. There's been a lot out there this cycle. I mean, you look at, you've got your guys that cover Tennessee, you've got your national guys. You hear different perspectives on this. The one thing, if you follow Tennessee recruiting, the one main person, and I'm not saying nobody else is in the know on this, but the one main guy to follow for Tennessee recruiting is Austin Price of volquest.com. During this entire cycle, going back, I would say ever since it, became apparent he's a big-time prospect, Austin Price has maintained Tennessee is in a good spot. They're doing all they can for it. A lot of your national guys, maybe Ohio State did lead at some point. I'm not saying they didn't, but a lot of national guys have kind of stuck to that down the stretch, even after DGG's visit to Tennessee. But, now you're starting to see the last 2 days. Pete Nakos of On3 Rivals put in his crystal ball projection. Steve Wilfong, who has gone at it. I wouldn't say gone at it. Let's say there's been some debating on volquest.com. He comes over. Hats off to him for coming over and interacting with people. And it's not all nice comments, obviously. But he changed his projection today. We got the Fong bomb. We didn't need it. We didn't need it at this point. Again, Austin Price last week said his confidence level was 70% on this. He's been over 50 for a long, long time. You got to give hats off to Josh Heupel, this staff. Now, it's getting put out there that, and of course it's a factor. Of course the NIL is a factor in this. Chris Lowe is reporting that the deal that DGG is going to sign, if he signs with Tennessee, 3 years, $6 million, $2 million per year. There's been debate. Do you put that kind of money in or what have you? And I'm going to kind of look at it because we don't know all the figures of guys who've come in. I mean, there's been speculation out there each time. But here's the bottom line on it. I don't think I could tell you right now, money was not everything. From everything that was out there, Tennessee absolutely knocked it out of the park on DGG's official visit. They rolled out the red carpet. They did everything. Had Alvin Kamara come in, who is, they formed a bond, him and DGG apparently. I know that, what was it, July 18th, and I could be wrong on that. Let's see here. No, gosh, no. Never mind it. June 5th. That would have been, a few days ago. My goodness, I'm off. That's what happens when you're on summer break for over a month. Now, you kind of lose track of time here, and in the middle of a move also. But, June 5th. So, the visit schedule then, he visited Ohio State on May 29th, Tennessee, June 5th, Ole Miss, June 12th. Ole Miss was, I think, I don't know that they were ever serious in this, regardless of what some of their mods sound. Ohio State obviously was. DGG's uncle has said that, their best probably position coach relationship was with Ohio State's running backs coach. But, Darrell Sims, Josh Heupel, this staff have done an excellent job. It has, been said he will be given the number 0, which was important to him. He'll have a raw opportunity, to come in and start next year. as well. Now, you look at the running back room as of right now for Tennessee. Justin Baker, sophomore. Javon Gordon, sophomore. DeJuan Morris, sophomore. Deshaun Bishop, redshirt junior. Now, will Bishop, if he has another big year, does he – I would think there's a possibility he declares for the draft after this year. I mean, that's my thoughts on him. I mean, 5'10", 215 is what he's listed at right now. Another big year, him being a redshirt junior, and I think he's off to the NFL. Now, with that said, DeJuan Morris has talent. Gordon, he's a guy got a lot of carries at Tulane who went to the playoffs last year. He'll be a good addition for Tennessee as well. But here's two things that you're looking at with Tennessee. If everything goes the way it looks right now, DGG is in the fold tomorrow. And, based on what I've seen on VolQuest.com, one of the Rivals writers today put out too, and I need to find that because I want to give him credit for it. Put out that Asa Barnes, who's a running back out of Tennessee as well, Tennessee is trending to land him as well. So, it's a thing is also where, you look at it, Tennessee's been up front with both guys about it. And, if you're able to land both of those, that's a very, very good 1-2 punch that you've been able to get here. No doubt about it, if they're able to finish this off, which it looks pretty good that it is. And, again, what I admire about the VolQuest writers, that they'll give the indications on this without just coming out and say it, how they feel about it. But still trying to find whatever on it. Anyhow, but it looks like tomorrow Tennessee is going to land their main guy in this cycle. Will be their first 5-star of the cycle. Again, consensus on Rivals, ESPN, and 24/7. That should push Tennessee up into the top 30 in recruiting. Right now, they're ranked 14th in SEC. Yeah, there's a lot of, gnashing of the teeth and things like that going on. But, again, let the cycle finish. And, you look at it too. I think Tennessee goes heavy in the portal this offseason. Right now, they've got 14 commitments. You get DGG tomorrow. You get Asa Barnes next week. You're up to 16. And then they're kind of, based on what I've seen, they're probably more looking at flips. Now, there may be some guys that pop up on the radar. Of course, you got to keep what you got in your class as well. But you look at this from Tennessee's perspective. I've seen people, you put all that money into a running back. We're forgetting coming up to this cycle. That's just one guy for this cycle. All right, let's go back 2 years ago. The big fish, it said. And, some said maybe even the highest paid in that class was David Sanders Jr. Tennessee put the money in there. Last year, you go back, Tennessee lands Faison Brandon. They land TK Keys, among others in it. You look at this offense and the potential. And, I've not talked about the quarterback battle. I've not talked about the upcoming season any. I want to definitely do that. Kind of rolling back around the football mode. Pretty fired up about it, actually, after media days and with the DGG announcement tomorrow. But you look at it, there's going to be one or two guys, either Faison Brandon or George McIntyre. We know what's been out there right now. Who finishes the season as the starting quarterback remains to be seen with it. But, whomever it is, you're going to have multiple years of them. It's like Josh Heupel said at media days. One of these days, I'm going to come back with a returning starter at quarterback. It's been a few years, obviously, since Hendon Hooker came back, because then you had Joe Milton, then you had Nico, then you had Joey Aguilar last year. This year, it's going to be the Faison Brandon or George McIntyre. I lean towards, based on just reading things, that it would be Faison Brandon. Now, if he runs away with that job, we know what probably – whoever runs away with the job, we probably got a good idea the other is probably going to transfer at that point. But let's say it's Brandon for comparison's sake. You're getting 3 years of him. Sanders Jr., if everything goes the plan, you've got him this year. Next year, he's off the NFL. Keys, if he's what we think he will be, You got 3 years of him with it. That's just in these classes alone here. Looking back at it as well, I want to look at the 2026 cycle, just some guys you had coming in with Tennessee. Of course, Tennessee ranked 9th last year according to Rivals. Faison Brand, TK Keys. And I'm looking at just offense here right now. Gabriel Georges, who was, depending on the publication, a 4 or a 5-star. Kamari Blair, Tyreek King coming in. That's kind of some of your main dudes coming in that class. You look back, let's go back to 2025 here as well. David Sanders Jr., Deshaun Brame, who will be a sophomore this year. Travis Smith Jr., how does he develop along the way? And, again, it could be George McIntyre. I'm not totally writing it off. Radarius Jackson is another one. I've kind of gone, DeJuan Morris will be in there as well, Justin Baker. That's kind of what we're looking at. You look at the line right now. Now I'm going down Tennessee's roster here and kind of want to share that a little bit here as well. Let's share Tennessee's roster. Okay, we've got that. Now I've got that pulled up. I've kind of got it by position. You look at wide receiver. All right, let's look at kind of 4 of your big guys. Faison Brandon, if DGG commits, you've got him. David Sanders Jr., left tackle. TK Keys, 5-star coming in. You look at this. Smith, Jackson, sophomores. Mike Matthews is a junior. Now, if Mike Matthews has a big year, could he go to the draft? Possibly so. Keys, Dotson, Braylon Staley, he'll be draft eligible after this year. If he has another big year, will he test the waters? Tyreek King on it. There's offense. There's a lot of weapons coming back. Plus, right now you've got Keyshawn Bowman coming in, 4-star. That's your top guy right now. You got Deion Cooper, wide receiver out of South Pittsburgh. All right, we look at it as well here. Look at tight end. Now, I'm kind of going over the walk-ons, and Luke Thompson, I see he's listed wide receiver. Pretty interesting there. Ethan Davis, redshirt junior. He's got, if he has a big year, could he test the waters on it? If not, you've got another option. Deshaun Brame is one. Looking at Cole Harrison, heard about his development. Trent Thomas is a guy, heard good things about. I've already touched on the running back room here as well. And again, you got Faison Brandon or George McIntyre. One of those is going to run away with that job at the end of the year. I have no doubt about that. And then, that's why it's perfect. You got a guy like Ryan Staub come in. Could be that kind of steady backup guy if you need him. Offensive line. You got Agamura, Sam Pendleton, redshirt junior, David Sanders Jr., sophomore. Of course, Moy, he'll be out of eligibility this year. Gabriel Georges, Jeremiah Hurd, Nick Moore, just going down the line, Kamari Blair. Haslam will transfer in from West Virginia. He'll be out. Jesse Perry's a redshirt sophomore. You still got Sham Umaroff, who's been in there. Ori Williams transfer from LSU. So that's kind of what we're looking at offensively here as well. If you land DGG, as it looks very good with right now, your quarterbacks, I don't think there's really any reason to doubt that Josh Heupel, Joey Halsley will develop the quarterback position. Offensive line, they've got to continue to develop. We've questioned Glenn Ellerbe every year. I really feel this is a year they should take another step, especially with the Derek Owens hire at strength and conditioning. I don't think we can stress how much that hire is going to mean. And obviously I'm not factoring in Jim Knowles and his defense. But that should make a big difference with this line as well. You land DGG. That's one of these elite running backs. Tennessee's had good running backs. They've had 1,000-yard rushers. Have they had a dude like DGG who's listed, depending on, I've seen him listed anywhere from 210 to 220 now. Seen he runs a 4.38 40. You get a guy with that sizing, you get him in with Derek Owens next year. And they've already gone over all this as well. Puts on, more good weight, chisels up some, probably increases his speed. That's guys that don't come around often. And that's nothing against any other backs. Again, Tennessee's had good running backs. They've had good success. That's a game changer type guy. If that's what you feel, get you that next level, you go spend that money there. And that's what Tennessee's doing. Who am I to doubt it as well? You're pretty set all around, especially if one of these quarterbacks pans out the way we hope. You get that running back like DGG who will come in and be that guy. You know, he'll rotate, obviously, but that guy who can carry it the rest of the way when you need it at the end. We'll see where it is. Announcement is at 5:30 tomorrow. I'll definitely post something after it. Once we're confirmed either way, whether it's Tennessee, whether it's Ohio State, everything's looking good for the guys in orange right now. Though. This is Frank. This is the House of Orange, and I'll see you when I see you.